Good evening, everyone, and welcome along to the Mackham Cast with Bradley Young. Alongside me is Project Manager Jack. Good evening, Jack. Long time no see.
Good evening, everyone.
Hello, Jack. And down here, as no one's expected, we have a new co-host, the Devon Mackham. Good evening, Kyle.
Hello. Hello, how are we doing? All good.
All good, man. All good. So, obviously, we will be touching up on the West Ham game. Obviously, the 3-1 defeat. We'll be talking about that very soon. And obviously, the upcoming game against Burnley. So that's what we'll be talking about tonight. So let's just pretty much deep dive into West Ham's 3-1 defeat pretty much straight away. What went wrong that game, Jack? What went wrong? I know we've only scored 6 goals away from home, which was absolutely horrifying. So, can you touch us up on that?
It's a game I do not want to remember at this point. It was a game where, for me, there was no intensity. There was too many mistakes. There was defending-wise, we weren't the greatest either.
No.
West Ham just outplayed with from the first minute. They wanted it more. They turned up more. They were fighting. We looked like we give them too much respect.
To be honest, I thought we were good for the first 3 to 4 minutes and we just dropped off after. Literally, it was dead.
I think that first goal went in, the heads dropped on the players.
Yeah, heads dropped straight away. But yeah, Kyle, what's your thoughts on this one? What's your thoughts?
Well, to put it, yeah, I was there. To put it simply, we were missing a leader. We were missing Granit Xhaka, and we've been fantastic. Granit Xhaka had literally been the best captain that I have ever seen since being a Sunderland fan, and we were missing it. We literally, I knew immediately. I could just tell something would go off, and we were missing it. That led to the downfall, really.
I actually agree with that 100%. I agree. Obviously, the goals, what West Ham scored, do you think Ruth should have saved any of them goals?
That third goal, definitely not. Like, that was, to be fair, a very, very good goal. All of them were down our end, and he could not have got that at all.
No.
Yeah, it's a penalty, obviously, with one of them as well, wasn't it? That, again, I mean, 50-50, isn't it, with penalties? You go the right way. I think he went the right way. I don't remember actually.
Yeah, he went the right way.
Yeah, he went the right way.
So he did what he could there. Really, he just got unlucky. And the first goal, I don't remember that one too much actually. I mean, it's on my video. I'll rewatch it maybe, but I don't remember it too well, to be fair. But I think he was blocked by one of the defenders, wasn't it?
The first goal, I think it was there was 2 defenders in the net. It was West Ham and the Sunderland one. I think it was Alderete who was in the middle of the goal, fighting with somebody, and then lost concentration.
I think that was when they hit the crossbar. I think.
Oh, that was right near the end, wasn't it? Down the other side of the pitch.
Yeah.
Can't remember the first goal, to be fair, on top of my head.
What was the atmosphere like, Kyle? What was the atmosphere like when you were there? Because obviously you
from West Ham or our fans?
Our fans, especially our fans. We don't talk about.
I was quite honest, to be fair, in my video, and I always say London games, and I get a bit of controversial saying this, but their London games, our atmosphere is never good. It just wasn't that great. But in the concourse was good beforehand. Maybe it could we went 1-0 down quite early on, but even at Brentford, I went Brentford away, and that was a Wednesday night. The atmosphere, even when we were 3-0 down, was great. And this one, we go 1-0 down, and the atmosphere just dropped immediately. I normally like to include chants and that in my video, and the reason why they're not in there because they weren't happening. I don't know why though. I don't know why.
What was I going to say? I was going to say something. What do you think Sunderland should have done better, Jack?
Not putting Hume in the centre mid role and giving him the captaincy armband for the first part. I 100%. Think for me that comes armband should have gotten someone who's a little bit more experienced, like a Nodi Mukiele, a Ronaldo, something different. We need to move the ball a little bit faster than we try to.
Definitely.
And we weren't pressing as much as I realised because I was at my mates and we weren't pressing. we're kind of sat off them.
I think the tempo's been a bit non-existent the last few games as well.
Definitely.
Yeah. What was your thoughts on what can Sunderland do better? Kyle, what's your thoughts?
We're frustrated really because I really like Romain Mundle, and he just I said it in even half an hour in. I said we need to take him off. Take him off because there were a few chances where we were out on the counter, and there was one in particular where he just gave up too quickly on trying to get the ball. I feel like he probably could have got it, and he just stopped and he just thought, oh, and just let it go out. And I thought, nah, he could have at least tried to get it. Like, you keep trying until the ball goes out of play, and he just gave up, and that happened more than one occasion. I said he needs to go off, and I think if he wasn't there, I don't know who we would have put instead of Mundle there. I mean, Talby could maybe go on the left. I don't know, but up there, I don't know. I think Inga could have gone up, and Talby would have on the right, don't they? Actually,
Talby, right?
So Dinga actually would have been perfect there. Actually, probably quicker as well. He probably would have got to a couple of those balls. But there were 3 or 4 chances where we countered, and the counter just broke down so quickly because, like you said, we were just slow. We were very slow at actually beginning that attack that we were never going to get anything. I'm surprised we even managed to get coming, and what great header by Bobby. But even 09 nearly scored as well. To be fair, it just near the end of it a bit too late, really, by then.
Yeah, I heard about that. 09 nearly had a good shot at the end. I heard about that. Someone was telling us when I was upstairs. What was I going to say? I was going to say something else. Obviously, we will be touching on player ratings soon. What your thoughts were on the players out of 10. So stay tuned for that. But trying to think what else we're going to talk about. What else do you think we should cover, Jack, about West Ham?
You could cover the Xhaka incident in the crowd.
Good one. That's an absolute good one. Never said about that. What's your thoughts on that, Jack?
What I've seen from when I was watching on the TV, that some West Ham fans were giving him stick or kicking off, and he was just responding, which in my eyes, you should just ignored it. But all I know from watching on TV that he was having a go at them, they were having a go at him. And that's really all I know about it.
Obviously, you were there. Kyle, do you know much about this incident?
It's funny, really, because when you're there, and if you recall how far back you are at West Ham, I didn't have a clue anything was going on. I mean, I saw something had gone on because I could see the officials were looking to the way of the sub benches, but I didn't have a clue, and no one really knew what was going on. Really, it just looked like it was kicking off a little bit. But yeah, and I seen it after clips and that, but you never really know what was said. Something of course rattled him. Being professional, you've got to try and be professional there when fans and that try and interact with you, and whatever they say, you've got to try and be the bigger one, especially Granit Xhaka, but age and experience. But something must have been said that was that bad for him to have to get involved. I feel like he wouldn't normally.
I can say something right now. The quotation mark where he says he said to someone, "I'll meet you outside." So something must have really went on.
Yeah. Maybe we're wearing a Millwall shirt.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's that time again for player ratings. Obviously, only 9 minutes in. Obviously, what we'll normally do is, Kyle, we normally go from goalkeeper to striker, and we'll normally do subs bench. That's what we always do. So have a good think about your ratings before me and Jack. So the order was going to go in. We'll go top to bottom, so it's going to be me, Jack.
Let me have a think while you're talking. I'll write some down then.
That's a good idea.
I'll just be thinking on the spot then. I've got to remember who actually played well. And that's the thing, when I'm at a game, I actually tend to not watch match today and that. So I'm just there. So I think, unless we won, maybe I'll probably watch it back again. But when we lose, I don't want to relive it. I've already seen it.
We've lost 3-1.
Yeah, I know the result, and I don't need to watch that again. I know how it was. I had a good view of all the goals, but yeah, it can't sometimes. Because when you're actually at the game, it doesn't always go in of oh, he's not playing well, he's not playing well. apart from a couple standout ones, and sometimes the ones that do play well can easily be overlooked, and you forget about it really how good of a game they had.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, so the lineup on Saturday was Roofs, Ballard, Alderete, Hume, Mukiele, Ronaldo. Middle of the park was Sadiki, Lefay, Mundle, Mienda, and Brobby, if I remember rightly. I remember the players who started. So, one by one, we're going to go player by player, rating by rating. So, Roofs for me. Obviously, he couldn't make that save for the third goal. He couldn't. That's out of his range. He couldn't do that. And if he could, that would have been superb. But yeah, the penalty obviously went the right way. Obviously, thought he done quite well for the penalty. Could have got it out. And obviously, our first goal as well, there was some sort of miss up between Alderete and one of the West Ham players in the goal for our first goal. So, to be honest, overall, I'm going to give Roofs a 5, and I think obviously that's a good statement for me giving them a 5. Jack, do you think?
I 100% agree with you. 5. Got nothing else to say on that one.
Kyle?
To be fair, I mean, considering the penalty went the right way, he made a few good saves as well. The third goal, he didn't have a chance at saving, but at least he made a somewhat attempt to. The first goal, I feel like I'm pretty sure he was blocked by defending. I'm pretty sure you could correct me if I'm wrong there, but I'm pretty sure he was blocked. The guys that was blocked through. I would say out of all of that, because I don't always think blaming the goalkeeper. I would say actually had a good game in all considering. I would say 7 out of 10.
No, he had a good. Don't get me wrong, he had a good game.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, he had a really, really good game.
Yeah.
All about the goals conceded.
I'm going to try and be nice to Ruth because I like Ruth. I'll say it's
I love Robin.
that.
I remember that game against Everton in the FA Cup. I'll never forget that. 3 goals saved. Next player we're going to talk about is Big Nordy Mukiele. For me, to be honest, he didn't play too bad. I thought he was one of the standout players for me. Always is. Obviously, he's got that experience behind him. He used to play for PSG, obviously. For me, I'm going to give him a 7. What about you, Jack?
It wasn't his greatest performance by far.
No.
But he did his job. He worked hard. Good work ethic. He gets a 6.
He tried. Kyle?
I'll go a 7 as well, to be fair. I mean, like you said, he is a stand-up player. He wasn't as good as he normally is, but that's effective when the whole team have their points can drop in there. So I'd say 7 is quite fair.
Dan Ballard. For me, Dan Ballard, obviously as well, he didn't have his greatest game, like Jack said about Mukiele. I didn't really stand out him in this game. I didn't stand out. For me, I'm going to be generous. I'm going to be nice. I'll give him a 6. What about you, Jack? Ballard?
I never really noticed him in the back line when I was watching the game.
No, he normally runs up the pitch with the ball.
I think for me, he gets a 5.
5. Kyle?
I didn't notice him, to be fair, either. I mean, I was miles away, so quite hard to say as well. But I think he might have had one headed chance at goal, I believe, but that might have been down the other end. So I'm going to have to go in the middle there with a 5 as well.
Next player we're going to be talking about is Ronaldo. For me, I thought Ronaldo, he could have had a red card that game. He was very close to getting sent off. Good tactical thing by Reggie Scabrice, obviously taking him off and bringing on. I think it was Dennis Cirkin. I think brought he come on for like. But in the first half, obviously he done his job. Obviously he played quite well, except for making those fouls, try to get himself sent off, kind of thing. Give him a 6. Give him a 6. I'll be generous on him as well. Jack?
4.
4, okay.
Or
I have to go 4 as well. He was just a bit. He had a bit of a temper on him. He does. To be fair, I can see him getting a few more
He does.
yellows and reds in this season.
He's got a
And there was one stupid one, and in the crowd we were all like, "Oh man, why did you do that?"
I
And then
know.
he got taken off. Go 4, definitely. I mean, and that's generous, to be fair.
Half of the time with him, I'm like, why the hell do you do that for? Like, why do you not just leave it? Why do you not just leave it? Because you're just going to get yourself into trouble. You're just going to get cautioned. Anyways, next player. Was 5 at the back at the weekend, wasn't it? Or was it 4 at the back?
yeah, Alderete.
That's it. Alderete. Yeah, that's you one. Omar Alderete for me. Wasn't his best game, I suppose. It wasn't really his best game either. I don't think anyone at the back had a great game that game. I think it was quite slow, quite dreadful. Obviously couldn't defend well. Obviously Roos made a few good saves, like Kyle said. But for me, Alderete gets a 5. Jack?
I agree. A 5. One of them. That another player I didn't really notice in the back line. I find him not great on the ball at times, especially if he tries his long passing. I like him in the air. I like him physically, but in this game, he shadowed on himself this season. 5.
He's a good player on his game. He is a good player, but he needs to try and up that a little bit, if that makes sense. Kyle, what's your thoughts on Omar? What's your thoughts?
You can say again, I really like him, and he's quite hit and miss though. I find because one game he'll just be amazing, and you'll be like, oh, he's the best defender we've ever had. Like he looks fantastic, and then the next game he just goes a bit missing, and he's slow to actually clear the ball away from danger, which is exactly what happened at the West Ham one. He would be holding the ball at his feet, kind of like Heath Rogan, and it would take time to actually clear the ball out or pack it away. But that wasn't only just him. Like it seemed like quite a few of the defenders were a bit lost on what they were actually doing. It's like, we got the ball. What are we meant to do now? It's kind of like they weren't expecting to have a ball at all. And you should be really, especially West Ham. I mean, I know they picked up a little bit of form, but you were going into that game, and I went into that game kind of thinking, we'll win, we'll beat them, and want to be, was it? So I'll have to say 4.
4.
Yeah.
Next player we'll move on to in the middle of the park is Human the Fee. And
Siddiqui.
Yeah. What, sorry? Chuck?
You're forgetting Siddiqui as well.
No, Siddiqui, yeah. Tell you what, we'll start off with Trey Hume because I've got a lot of comments to say about him at the minute. This game. To be honest, Regis Cabrice, you fucked up there because 1, he's not a midfielder, 2, he's a right back. Why the hell do you put him in midfield spot? But I suppose there's no one else to cover for Granit Xhaka. There's no one else, except from...
We had Diarra. We've got Diarra.
Well,
I don't see the issue. Yes, he's come back from AFCON, but he was back I think 4 or 5 days prior to the West Ham game.
And
he had enough time.
He came on at half time as well, didn't he? So I don't know why.
And he looked bright. He looked with energy. He needs to start against Burnley. That's what I'm saying.
I think when he came on, I think he changed the game a lot. I think for me as well. But Trey Hume, you're not a midfielder, put it that way. But Trey Hume for me, obviously lost the ball so many times. I don't know if anyone else agrees with that.
Oh yeah, no, 100%.
So many bloody times in that game, absolutely woeful. To be honest, he's going to get the lowest rating for me. I'm going to give him a 4. Jack?
For me, not a midfielder, and right now, not a captain material player that we need right now. I think if he was in right back, he might have had a bit of a better game, but in that midfield, trying to control the game, trying to control the pace of the game, doing something very similar to Xhaka, that's not what Hume is. That is one of the worst games I've seen Hume in a Sunderland shirt.
Nope.
He gets a 2.
Yep. And Kyle, what do you think before I move on to something else about Trey Hume as well? We're going to sum up something else.
It plays simply. I mean, he was out of position, of course, like you said. So you've got to give him a little bit for that, mainly because he didn't normally play there. But he's got to show up at least a little bit, and he just didn't. Like you say, he lost the ball a lot of time. In the crowd was starting to get on his back a little bit. To be fair, that one amount of atmosphere we're having, a negative atmosphere towards Hume, everyone's shouting, going, get him off, and and he ended up going off. So he had to get the lowest rating, and it seemed a little bit harsh, but he has to get a 2.
Yeah. Anyway, as well, what I want to say, Hume obviously started there on Saturday. Obviously, with his performance, was it his fault or was it Reggie Scabrese's fault? What do you think on that? Because I can't really blame Hume because he's not an out player. He's not like a physical. He's not a physical player. Like he can play out of position. I think for that one, I'm blaming the Bree for because the reason why is you've got 2 good players on the bench. You've got obviously got Jack mentioned. You've got him and Diarra on the bench, and obviously
You've got
Rushard Getrauder as well on the bench. Obviously, he can play central defence.
You can drop Lafitte into that role and bring Rig in, or you can. There's so many options we can clearly do, and he chose the option of bringing a right back who's probably never played centre mid in his whole career.
I know.
In the midfield, for him to put massive pressure on to fill that Xhaka role for that game. It's,
like I said, you the other day, I think Getrauder could have had a good part in that. I thought he would have had a good game.
We would be more solid in that midfield if we had a proper centre mid in the middle of the park.
Yep. But anyways, let's move on to the next player. Let's move on to Noah Siddiqui. For me, to be honest, this thing about 70% of water and the rest is made of Noah Siddiqui, whatever it was. Something was mentioned about that ages ago.
Yeah.
I don't think he had a good game that game. I really don't. I don't think he had a good game either. For me. He was okay, but not his standards what I was expecting him to be. So, for me, he gets a 5. Jack?
Siddiqui, you can see he runs all the time, but it's all about what he does on the ball, even off the ball, and both set of standards from on the ball and off the ball weren't great.
No.
He gets a 4.5.
Kyle?
Again, for like Ballard and Adderett, like you said, he was a bit missing, to be fair. And again, I have to say I was really, really far away near the back, but I don't remember, like, if you had told me he wasn't playing, I would have happily just gone along with that because I don't actually remember really seeing him a lot, and maybe he wasn't off on the ball a lot. I think on some of the counters, maybe he was there pushing up through. Maybe he tried off the ball, but I can't say I remember off the top of my head, and I'll be lying if I tried to bring up something. So I'm gonna have to just go over 5 because I don't remember what he was doing in that game. To be fair, that can obviously a negative. Not very memorable.
Next one, we have our top goal scorer, Enzo Lafitte, on 8 goals this season. I think he's done an absolute tremendous job as well, Enzo Lafitte. Speaking about central midfielders, because to be honest, wouldn't you thought more goals would come from your strike force than your central midfielders? Wouldn't you thought that from Robbie and Isidore? But to be honest, Lafitte, I thought he had a good game. I thought he was all right as well. I thought he had an all right game. He was better than the other 2, like I mentioned. He was better than Siddiqui. He was better than Hume by far. So, for that, I'm going to give him a 6. What about you, Jack?
Again, didn't notice him. Rarely noticed him. When I did notice him, it was a good pattern to play from him. He did try to create stuff. So for that, I'll give him a 6.
Kyle, what's your thoughts on Enzo?
To be fair, he'll get higher than the other 2, mainly because partly of the counting, he was actually the one that had started that up. It's just then further up from him that failed the counter. So he actually did have a little bit of involvement in that, and he's noticeable around the pitch because he does put in a lot of distance. But like you say, it wasn't like amazing today. He better. I mean. I was slating him in the Brentford game, of course, not too long ago, but he kind of redeemed himself in that Palace game as well. Okay, I would say I'll give him a 7, to be fair. I think that is me being a little bit fair on him, but 7 was stick with.
Anyways, the winners, Mundo and Mienda. Mundo was on the left, Mienda was on the right. So, Mundo, not his best game. Not his best game whatsoever. Should have been took off. Obviously, I think he was. But for me, I would like to see a Dringer more. I'm not going to lie, because his pace is good. Like what he showed in that game, I think it was against. I'm trying to think. What game was it when he scored when all the players went after him? Leeds, that's it. When all the players went after him, and he stood out the most in the pace of him was absolutely tremendous. But for me, Mundle, he's not a Premier League quality player. I don't think he is. I think, to be honest, he's Championship at best. That's what I'm going to say. Mid-Championship table, like a Norwich or a Stoke or something like that. But for me, Mundle, he gets a 6. No, he gets a 5. Jack?
Oh, didn't rate him. Haven't rated him the times he's come off the bench. The games he started, I haven't rated him. 4.
Devin Markham, Kyle, what do you reckon?
I have to say a 4 as well. Like I said, the counters, that was his fault for the majority of those, why we couldn't push out even further and at least get a chance on goal. He just gave up. He just couldn't. It kind of seemed like he just couldn't be bothered. He thought, "Oh, run for that." No, I can't get that. You know, you go until the ball comes going off the field, and he just stopped way before that. There was at least one of those times where I feel like he could have got that. A Dingra, I really rate, and I would like to see him get a chance over him.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't say what. Did I say 4? Yeah, I did say 4, didn't I?
Yeah, you said 4. Yeah.
I'll say it again 4.
Anyways, we'll move on to Eliza Miyenda. For me, I thought he was actually all right. You know, I thought Miyenda actually had a good game, especially second half. I thought, obviously, that ball, from, I think it was Habib Diarra, he passed it to Miyenda, then he passed it to Mukiele for that crossing for that Robbie goal. And to be honest, Miyenda, what can I say about him? Obviously, a lot of transfer speculations being about him as well in the January window. Obviously, Paris FC, the same club what Wilson Isidore had as well. I think it was about 80-90 million for Miyenda and 25 million for Isidore from there, something like that. For me, Miyenda gets a 5. I thought he played okay. Not really standards, just, 5. Jack, what do you think?
Mienda's just Mienda. I've got no other comment than a 5.
Yeah. Kyle?
The first minute of the game, was it him that had that shot?
Yes.
That we nearly scored?
Yes.
That was the best he played. Okay. So from that, brilliant. If he went off there, okay, 10 out of 10, fantastic. No, again, he had come chances, but I do think it was a little bit on, because we were coming kind of countering up to the left a little bit. He was in a way waiting. He could have tracked back a little bit, and he was kind of like doing like a Haaland. He was waiting for that to come to him so he could get the chance from goal. And most of the time, he wouldn't get any service there. But you can look at it in both ways. If he had come back and assisted, then he could have, rather than being lazy and waiting up there. But that one chance goal though in that first minute, that was good, So we have to go with let's go with a 6 out of 10 for him.
6 out of 10.
Yeah.
Now we're going to be talking about obviously the subs bench who came on. Obviously 09
Robbie.
came on. Then he made that thing. What did you say?
You forgot Robbie.
Oh yeah,
Robbie.
I can remember about the goal scorer. Anyway, Brian Robbie. I think he played okay that game, to be honest. I thought, to be honest, if it was a man of the match, I would have had to pick him out everyone on that pitch. Not just for his goal, but for his physicality as well. Off the ball, obviously, his hold-up play is just next to none. Obviously, that game against Crystal Palace, I think it was as well. His hold-up play was tremendous. He was trying to beat players. He was trying to do his usual thing. And for me, Brian Robbie, I think going back to that, was it that Chelsea game when he scored that goal and he holded up that ball for about 10-15 seconds? For me, I think Robbie's a good Premier League player. I think he's proved out to be the one, obviously, to start. Obviously, that's why I think Wilson has dropped down the pecking order For me, that's what I think anyway. Well, Robbie, for me, he gets a 6. What you playing okay? Jack?
Honestly, there was so many doubters at the start of the season when we'll first bring him in with his record from last season.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's proven that wrong slowly, that he is a good player, that he is going to bring in something different that we need up front, a bit of physicality. And for what I've seen this season, I think he's going to be a good player for the season to use. My man of the match, he gets a 7.5 for this game.
Yeah. Kyle? Robbie?
Robbie, I'd actually give him an 8, to be fair. I mean, he took his chunk when he got it there, and he scored, of course, a great header. We didn't look like we were going to score without him. If we didn't have Robbie there, we definitely wouldn't have scored. So I think he improved, and a lot of doubt was wrong. Definitely piled on. Because they said, but I remember seeing the tweet of Brian Brobby, the worst signing since joking out the door. Completely wrong tweet there, because he had proven himself. He didn't do well last year because he wasn't getting the game time. He was coming back from an injury, I believe. And he said he wants the old Brian Bobby back, and I feel like we're starting to get him even more so now. And I feel like he will end up being our top goal scorer this season. He'll overtake Enzo. He'll get more and more goals, and he just looked confident. He looked great in front of the ball. He looked great, like you said, with him holding off play. Even Henri saying how great of holding off play he does go. It shows there, and I think 8. Considering we lost 3-1, he still got the goal. 8 is very fair.
It's very, very fair, yeah. I totally agree with you. Comments in the chat. Let's have a look at the comments before we move on. Why you wasn't doing the podcast Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday? Right. I'm going to tell you why. The reason why is we couldn't find a co-host. This is why we recruited Kyle. Obviously due to personal reasons, other ones. Yeah, we're not going to go into.
Yeah, we're not going to disclose the reason.
Yeah. Paul Wilson says, good evening, Brad, good evening, Jack, and good evening, Kyle.
Good evening, Paul. Good evening, man.
Good evening. Anyways, let's move on to the substitutions bench. So 09 came on, Sirkin came on, Diarra came on, and who else came on? What was it?
Didn't Isidore not come on?
Yes.
I think he did towards the end, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah. So, who shall we start with first? Yeah, we'll start at left back. We'll start Dennis Sirkin first. For me, Dennis Sirkin, I thought he had an alright game when he came on. I thought he changed the game second half for Ronaldo's terrible fouls. But I actually think Sirkin's actually proven out wrong not to be a Premier League player. I think at the start of the season, people were thinking Dennis Sirkin's not a Premier League player. He's not. But he's just proved everyone wrong. Like the last couple of games, obviously, when Reggie started him, obviously before Ronaldo's came back from AFCON, then obviously, yeah. So for me, he gets a 6. What about you, Jack?
6 as well. I think he came on. We looked a little bit more solid down that left-hand side defensively.
Yeah.
I think he looked all right going forward. So, yeah, 6.
Kyle?
Yeah, go with the devil, and I'll go with you, 6 as well.
6 as well, all 6s.
I don't have a massive amount of comment because he was the furthest away from me possible, being we were shooting him to walk up in the second half. I couldn't really see it. I can't see a little FIFA man in the I can see someone, a blur, coming down the left there. I'll stick with you. I don't remember too much what we've got to.
Yeah. Next player, Habib Diarra. For me, he was a game changer. That's what I thought. He came on. He changed the game superbly well, obviously. I don't know who. I can't even remember who he took off for Diarra. Who was it? Was it Mundell?
I'm sure he came on for him. Because he came on at half time.
Oh, yeah.
He did, yeah.
He came off and Diarra came on. For me, Diarra changed the game completely. Obviously, the passing, obviously, his experience, obviously, from European teams. I think, to be honest, it stands out that, obviously, Diarra's good in that midfield role. And for me, Diarra gets 7.5. going to be fair with a 0.5 this time. Jack?
7. I think he came on, looked energetic, looked like he wanted to get back into the game.
Mhm.
For me, I wanted to go back to the midfield we started at the start of the season before he got injured, in that midfield three of Xhaka, Siddiqui and Diarra. I feel like we had them three midfielders would work perfect. Where Xhaka can sit in that holding role and then Diarra and Siddiqui go a bit further up. So he gets a 7.
I agree with that, what you mentioned just there, but where would you put the fee?
On the left. Straight back on the left.
On the left.
He's not the greatest player there, but you don't want to drop the fee, do you? He will still create chances. He'll still get shots off on the left.
We just don't want to put him on the bench and just be fucking, you're going on the bench, because he's a good player. He's a standout player. He scored 8 goals for a reason.
Most of them are pens, but
most of them are pens, but they're still goals. Goalkeepers could have saved them. Who knows? What was I going to say? Diarra. Jack, did you see yours, didn't you?
Yeah, 7.
I don't think Kyle said his. What's your thoughts on Diarra?
Yeah, I would say 7 as well. Like, kind of like an echo. He looked energetic, which of course is the positive. You want to see that. We're pushing forward a little bit more. It looked like we had a little bit more urgency to try and get a goal back. I mean, I feel like on another day we actually could have come back completely from that game. Our intensity after we got that first goal back looked really good, and it looked like we were going to get a second, and that was due to Diarra. He looked fantastic there coming through. He could even probably ended up getting one himself if he ran through the defence. But yeah, I would say a 7. I would say a 7. He did well for coming on, and hopefully he will come through and be in the first team. But like you said, I mean, who did he replace?
Yeah.
Who dropped for him to come in?
What did you say? Sorry.
Who dropped for him to come in? Who will drop? Who will go on the bench for Diarra to slot in?
What about before Xhaka returns or after Xhaka returns?
After he returns.
After he returns.
What you do is, like Jack says, you drop Mundo, you put the fee in the left, you put Xhaka, Siddiqui and Diarra in the midfield. That's what you would do.
Okay.
Put the fee back on the left. What you used to play.
I hope that works. I hope that happens then. I like to see Diarra getting more game time, but of course you don't want to drop the fee over.
I think the fee will still create chances, still get the goals he wants on the left. Yeah, he doesn't have the great performances on the left, but he still creates chances. He still looks dangerous.
Because instead of a 4-2-3-1, we could change it up and go 4-3-3. Could change it up.
Yeah, it could work.
Yeah. Anyways, next player, Luke O'Nien. For me, that goal before the end, what he could have had. Bloody hell. For me, what can I say about Luke O'Nien? Luke O'Nien. He's Mr. Sunderland, isn't he? So, give him an 8. Absolute Superman. Jack?
If he scored that goal that he nearly scored, it would have been a 10. It would have been a straight 10, but because he didn't, you'll go joint with Bobby with a 7.5, I think I said.
7.5, yeah, you did. Kyle, what do you think on O'Nien?
Yeah, I mean, I love O'Nien. He's so funny. He's such a hilarious one to see. He's like, you know what he's like? You know when you used to play like football when you were a kid and you would score your first goal and you would run around like a little headless chicken? He just reminds me of that, but it's like, it's not a bad way. It's quite funny to watch, isn't he? Like all his little mannerisms that he does as well. You can't not hate that guy. And no matter what, to me, he's still a legend. I always be talking about Luke O'Nien. And I mean, I don't think if that did go in, it would have been very fluky. I don't think he meant to have a shot. I think he was trying to cross the ball into the net. But, if that went in, we wouldn't have been complaining, would we? So I just love his commitment to the club, his energy always brings, his attitude. I just love everything about him. So I'll give him an 8, and that's not just on my love for him. I think he actually come off the bench, and he did what he could on as little as he could, because we were I think we were 3-1 down when he come on. Was he, or we get 3-0? Regardless, we're definitely 3 goals down.
It would have been a typical O'Nien goal.
Yeah. So yeah, 8. Like that.
Yes. Who was the last player who came on?
Talby. So got Talby, Isidore.
Did Talby come on?
Yeah.
No, Talby did come on, didn't he? That's another player who I forgot to mention. Obviously Talby came on second half. Came off for Bienda, didn't he? Yeah, he came off for Bienda because Bienda was on the right. Then Talby came on.
Talby went on to the left. I'm sure Talby went on the left.
Was he on the left? Was he?
I mean, I think he switched when Isidore came on to the right.
Oh yeah. Sorry, you've got me wrong. Sorry, yeah, I was wrong about that. Yeah. Talby for me, I think Talby's an absolute great player. I think he's absolutely superb. But this game again for me wasn't his game. I'm not going to lie. So I'm going to give him a 6. What about you, Jack?
I feel like he needs to run at his man more. I think the wingers we've got don't run at their fullbacks as much as you would like them to. Either if they don't have the pace or if they don't have the ability, which they have to have the ability to be a winger anyway, to go beat a man on a 1v1 against your fullback. But it seems like our players are scared to go take on our fullback. They're like just to cut in, play it into the middle of the park, or try to cross it. Just take your man on, take the risk. For me, Talby didn't do that against West Ham. You get a 4.
Yeah. Kyle, what do you think?
Yeah, again, shadowing, but he go up along on the wing, and you want to you just want to cross it in, and it's just very slow. You turn around, you freeze, you pack it back, and then everything gets dropped. I think there were a few times. It might not have been Talby. I'm not saying it's 100% him, but I remember we were pushing down on the left or the right. I don't remember. And I remember the ball suddenly gets turned around and it goes back all the way back to Ruth again. And then that pressure we had on them, it just completely dropped again. It's given West Ham time to recover and get back into position. And I hate it when we do that. It's a frustrating thing. Thinking, right, we're going up. Oh no, we're just going to turn around. Right, let's just slow the play down again. And I'm pretty sure, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure Talby did do that a couple of times in that game when he come on.
He did.
Am I wrong with that? He did do that, yeah. Again, like I said, it's hard when you're at the game and trying to remember who did what. It's a lot easier when you watch it back on Match of the Day or watching it live. But yeah, I have to say 4 for Talby. But I do normally like that guy, and I do rate him. I do think he deserves his place in the squad. It's just that game was not his day.
Last player before we move on to Burnley preview is Wilson Isidore. What's your thoughts? For me, before we move on to people's thoughts, actually, Isidore for me gets a 7. What about you, Jack?
Can't remember him. All I know is he ran on the pitch and came on. Can't remember him.
Kyle?
Yeah, I don't know what time he come on, but I remember him coming on, but I don't think he had time to do anything. I'm not necessarily saying that kid's fault at all. I just don't think he had enough time to maybe slot into the game and get comfortable there to actually end up having any chance. So I can't. It's hard to rate someone. Yeah. Sorry.
84 minutes he came on.
He had what 9 minutes or so to try and make an impact, and we didn't. And not a lot had even happened then. They had the ball in their half actually for most of it. So I can't comment on a rating for someone that I don't think actually he might not have even really touched the ball many times either, and that's not his fault. He didn't have a lot of time. We'll go with a 5 because in the solid because he's unrateable really, but he's good. He's good.
Mm-hmm. Right then, guys, that sums the player ratings up. Now we're going to move on to the Burnley preview, which is on Monday night. Obviously, that's the main topic we need to talk about. Obviously, under the lights at the Stadium of Light, 8 p.m. kickoff on Monday. Who's going to the game on Monday? Who's going? No, you're not going, Kyle.
Oh, no, you know where I live, right?
Because you're in Devon, you're in Devon, aren't you?
I'm very rarely. I quite call the Devon back of it. Okay. There's a reason for that. I won't be there, unfortunately. I was there for the West Ham home game and the first game back, but I try and make at least one home game a season. But I have means to get away tickets for most games, so I try and go to the away games if I can. But no, I won't be there.
Anyways, Burnley versus Sunderland at the Stadium of Light on Monday. Is everyone feeling confident? Jack, are you feeling confident for Burnley?
I don't know what it is. It's always this feeling that now it's coming to the game of Burnley and how dodgy Burnley has been for us the past couple of years of playing them. I guarantee they are going to be the team to break an unbeaten streak at home.
Yeah.
Number one, honestly, it's just that sinking feeling that they are the team.
Read my mind. He read my mind. Yeah, I got to swear. If he got there, he's got some power. He read my mind. What I was thinking.
But yeah, what's your thoughts, Kyle, on Burnley? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, on Burnley as a whole, so far this week, I mean, they've been dreadful. And I quite think we'll end up losing them to them because they took always the Sunderland way. We do so well against the good teams, the teams that we expect to lose against. I mean, I know sometimes we don't, but like Liverpool, for example, Arsenal, Chelsea, we'll forget Man City. But I mean, Man City at home was good, actually. But against the teams that we should be beating, okay, Burnley away, West Ham away, and now Burnley at home coming up.
Yeah.
It's worrying, isn't it? And because they've already beaten us, well, I know it's only the second game of the season, but they have already beaten us. And Burnley are quite good defensively, to be fair to them. I mean, I know they haven't been showing it this season, but they are good defensively, normally, and they probably will be against us. I would like to think that we can beat them, but it's just that Sunderland way. We know it. We've had the doubts over the years. I don't know how long you guys have supported them, but how many times we nick it the Sunderland way. We lose to the bad teams. We beat the teams we shouldn't do. And so I would have my money not being negative on us losing our unbeaten home streak against Burnley of all teams.
Oh, well, I've supported Sunderland 10 years. That's all I've supported.
All my life.
There we go. You've seen the negative. We've seen you know the Sunderland way.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, on the whole, for about Burnley, obviously they do set up as a back. I think it's a back five they set up, don't they, or a back four. I don't know what setup they play, but I think obviously they've got Martin Dubravka from Newcastle as well on goal. So.
Oh, I've got one point of view as well. Why does it? It was point boom with Freddie Woodman at Preston. Any former Newcastle keeper that comes to the stadium and why do they pull out world-class performances? I've had it happen twice with Freddie Woodman at the stadium and the 2 seasons in the Championship with him, and he's pulled out class performances. We can't score past him. If that happens to the Bravga, I'm walking out the stadium in the space of 20 minutes. I'm gone.
Get me back row home, get me bus home, go on, see you later.
I'm done. When we're not scoring past him if he has a world-class performance, hell no.
Aye.
I will say Dubravka has saved them a lot this season, though. They could have conceded amount of goals in games, but he's kept them in games.
To be honest,
shouldn't be keeping them in.
To be honest, if it wasn't Dubravka, I think Burnley would have been bottom of the league. If it wasn't.
Yeah.
The other bottom. Anyways, who would your starting lineups be for Sunderland and why? What would you change?
For me, I would go, obviously, keep Roofs in goal.
Yeah, you keep Roofs in goal.
Move Hume back into right back.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, do we go back five or back four? For me, go back four against Burnley. So Mukiele... No, you go back... Actually, no. Drop Hume onto the bench, bring Mukiele right back, Bollard, Alderweireld, Ronaldo, Siddiqui, Diarra, Lafay, with a Dinger on the left, Talby on the right, and Bobby up front.
That's what I like to see.
That's perfect, that is perfect.
Yeah.
Simple as.
What's your lineup, Kyle?
And I'm not even joking, exactly how I would like to see it, because I want to see a Dingra get a start in the team, and I'd like to see Diarra coming back to start in the team as well. And if that's the way to do it without dropping Lafay, then have one left in defence, have another, then go. Was that a 4-3-3? Then I couldn't work out in my head.
Yeah. So basically, Siddiqui, Diarra sitting as the two holding midfielders, and then Lafay in the Campbell, and then the two wingers and the striker.
Yeah. Is Xhaka back, or is he still injured?
He's back, and then he said after 2 weeks, he said roughly, but we're not rushing him back.
Okay, so we'll be without him.
I think he'll be back the next. I think he'll be back the next home game. I reckon.
I don't think he's back for Arsenal. I think it'd be the game after Arsenal's when we'll see him back fully.
I think
Or Oxford would that be, isn't it?
yeah, it'll be
Oxford when he's back. He might be on the bench against Arsenal.
Yeah,
I don't
He
think
would want to play. He would want to play against them, wouldn't he?
Oh, definitely, especially at the Emirates.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, that would work then. That would be good.
Yeah, my lineup. I'm going to go 4-2-3-1. I'm going to go a bit different. So, Roofs and goal. Back four of Nordi, Ronaldo, Ballard, and Alderete, of course, like Jack mentioned. Then I'll have Siddiqui and Diarra in the holding. Then I have the Fierce Cam obviously for the number 10 role. And then I have a Drinker on the left, Talby on the right, and then I have Robbie up front.
So very similar at the moment.
Yeah, pretty much quite the same as yours, but a different kind of formation. Before we drop off and before we go, obviously the main thing we need to talk about as well is score predictions. Obviously going into this game, I love to. This is my favourite time of the game. Actually, score predictions of the podcast. We'll start from bottom to top this time. We'll start with Kyle first. Kyle, what's your score prediction?
So I want to try and be positive. To be fair, I am going to try and be positive because I'm hoping we know the Sunderland way and we've discussed the Sunderland way, but I'm hoping we don't do that. So I'm going to say it's not going to be easy. I'm going to hope that we can get past a 1-0 win, but it also wouldn't surprise me if it went the other way as well. But I don't think it's going to be high scoring. It could even be another 0-0 because we're kind of known for draws at the moment. So, but yeah, I'm going to stick with 1-0 win for us because I'm going to try and be a little bit positive rather than bring the negativity in. But you guys might do different. At least I've started off with positivity.
What do you think?
I think it will be a win for us or a win for them, but I think it will come down to a last-minute goal. Either will go 2-1 to us or 2-1 to Burnley, last-minute winner.
2-1 Burnley, 2-1 us. Yeah, if that's 3 points, 3 points is in the bag at the end of the day. For me, obviously, Burnley is our bogey team. You've got to think about that one massively. And to be honest, if we get a draw against them, that's still going to have a point on the board. And to be honest, I'm going to play it safe and go 1-1. I'm going to go 1-1.
Who are your goal scorers?
That's a good question as well, goal scorers. Kyle, goal scorer?
Robbie.
I
said 1-0. Yeah, Robbie.
Yeah. Jack, what do you think?
I'm going to go with Robbie and I'm going to go with Talby.
Robbie and Talby. Interesting. I'm going to go for... You know what I'm going to go for? And I know he doesn't score goals that much. I'm going to go Siddiqui. And I'm going to go... Try to think who plays for Burnley.
If we're going to go Burnley players, I'm going to go with their new centre mid, scores from a free kick, James Ward-Prowse.
Wait, what? Did he play for them now?
He signed on loan, to the end of the season.
What a signing that is. With Kyle Walker as well. What a signing that is. Bloody hell. Goal scorer for Burnley? No, he didn't say 1-1, did you? He said 1-0. My goal scorer, I think, would be Brownhill. Burnley.
He doesn't play for him anymore.
Does he not?
He's in the Saudi league now.
Bloody hell, that's how much I've took notice of Burnley gone. Their striker, whatever their striker is, he'll score.
Amado Broja, whatever his name is.
Broja, yeah, that's it. Broja. I think he'll score. Anyways, guys, that about just wraps it up. Just under an hour. Pretty much happy with that. But yeah, don't forget, guys, to leave a subscribe for this channel. The Mackem Cast. That's the name. Yeah, forgot my own podcast name. Bloody hell. Subscribe to the Mackem Cast. And obviously subscribe to the Devon Mackem as well. That'd be great if you could subscribe.
Send a collab to me. If you send a collab request when you upload it on YouTube, I don't know if you upload it then after the video, but put that in. And then it'll go on my channel as well, and then it'll help, of course, hopefully bring some of my subscribers over to you too, or our channel.
Yeah, I'll try and figure that out about the collabs. I'll try and figure that out. I really haven't done that before, but I'll try and figure it out how to do it.
Yeah, quite clever to be fair, because then it goes whoever you collab with, it goes onto their channel. Also, I've done it a couple of times.
So it might help both channels out then pretty much. It might
Yeah,
help
yeah, definitely, because my subscriber will see that I've come up on their notification bell, and of course I have over 3,000, so hopefully it'll bring some over.
Yeah. That's why another main reason I've hired you for as well, because you've got so much growth on that channel as well. You've got quite a few subs. So.
And I've been to all these places on my channel as well. That's why I collect the scarves a bit in the studio.
I'm liking the scarf, so I'm liking it.
Yeah. Well, I'm in the back garden. It's an actual studio that I made, like properly like sound insulated and all that.
So you're actually streaming from your back garden in there.
Yeah. I'm not outside. It's raining outside. It's really heavy down here, out there. Hopefully you can't hear that. It's pretty sound quality to be fair in here.
I can't even hear the rain, so I can't even hear.
There we go.
Really
Well, exactly. There we go. It worked quite well. They kept the outdoor going only there. I do have a door. I can afford a door. I've got a door. Thanks for the YouTube revenue.
Anyways, say goodbye, everyone, Jack.
In a bit, everyone.
Say goodbye, everyone. Kyle.
Have a great evening.
Up the Macklem cast. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you on Tuesday for the next one. Take care and goodbye.